Mr. Conyers. I appreciate the time. These bills are basically Chamber of Commerce week in the United States Congress. That's what we've come down to, is that the Chambers of Commerce, who represents the large corporations, who would be the defendants in these actions by and large, and consist of the people that produce the asbestos, they're part of it too, and give them an opportunity to not have to pay out damages to victims where class actions are successful, but would make them more difficult to be successful, and people who've been victims of asbestos injuries, mesothelioma being the ultimate disease that kills people from exposure to asbestos. Now, on the other side of the Chamber of Commerce, and my friends on the other side, are people on this side and certain groups. And I want to tell you who the folks are who are against the bill. The NAACP, the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights, often called the conscience of the Congress, the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, Consumers Union, the American Bar Association, and we've heard about how lawyers are doing this and lawyers are doing this. Lawyers are on both sides of cases. The American Bar Association, Americans for Financial Reform, Public Citizen, the Southern Poverty Law Center, Morris Dees and Company, the National Disability Rights Network, and the Asbestos Disease Awareness Organization. The Asbestos Disease Organization is the voice of the victims, and they are against this, and I have to be against it because I stand with the victims and for justice and what's fair for people who have been harmed by corporate wrongdoing. And I rise to tell a personal story. One of my best friends was a man named Warren Zevon. He was a singer and songwriter, and somewhere along the line he was exposed to asbestos, and he died in September 2003 of mesothelioma. But for asbestos, and it's him being exposed to it in some manner, he would be with us today and would have been with us for the last 12 years, giving us entertainment and songs, and maybe songs about some of the things that have been going down in here. One of his last songs was, "I was in the house when the house burned down." Well, it wasn't this house, but it could have been this house. And this house is the people's house and should be looking out for victims and people who should get compensation in courts. When we travel internationally, one of the things we find is that people revere our justice system. They look to America for justice and an open court system that they don't have in their own nations. And these bills would close the door on justice and close the door on the courts, and that is not what America's about, and that's not why we're respected internationally. I respectfully ask that we oppose these bills and vote no, support the victims, support justice, and I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman's time has expired.